Hello everyone, my name is Nathania. My student number is B1024201013. I'm from Management International class of Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Tanjungpura. The purpose of this video being made is to fulfill the midterm exam by answering and giving conclusion of class discussion from chapter 1 to chapter 6. The subject of this class is Human Resource Management that is being delivered by our beloved lecturers such as Sir Adi Mursalin SAMM. I have attended the Zoom class of HRM 6 times. I attended the class because I want to learn more about human resource management. I see it's very interesting to learn about human. For instance, learn how to manage, control, and understand human. There are 6 topics that have been discussed in the Zoom meeting of HRM lecture, such as human resource management in an organization, strategic planning, equal employment opportunity, worker jobs and job analysis, human resource planning and retention, and the last is recruiting and labor markets. All of those topics have taught me a lot of new things and knowledge. It is important to do human resource management rightly because it will affect entire organization's life, especially in achieving its objective or goals. It's also important to do human resource strategic planning in order to set priorities, focus energy and resources, strengthen operations, ensure that employees and other stakeholders are working toward common goals, establish agreement around intended outcomes or results, and assess and adjust the organization's direction in response to a changing environment. Besides that, I have learned about the importance of equal employment opportunity in order to create a fair treatment to employees. Moreover, I also learned that jobs must be balanced with work-life issues because much of employees' work doesn't require being in the office all the time, so that jobs must be created with flexibility in order to accommodate the life outside job. To achieve this, organization must do job design which refers to organizing tasks, duties, responsibilities, and other elements into a productive unit of work. Human resource planning is the process of analyzing and identifying the need for and availability of human resources so that the organization can meet its objective. This process is related with strategic human resource planning. The right human resource planning will bring organization close to its goals and will increase job satisfaction. Another thing that is important to be considered by human resource is recruiting process and retention its employee. Recruitment is important because it determines the present and future staffing requirements and also prevents disruptions of business activities. Honestly, I'm not really active in the discussion during the Zoom meeting of class HRM. However, I have answered 3 questions. First question was from chapter 3 about equal employment opportunity, such as what can be the potential sexual harassers happen at workplace. My answer is, most frequently, sexual harassment at a workplace occurs when a male or female in a supervisory or managerial position harasses the victim, which can be male or female within his power structure. There are a lot of potential sexual harassers that may happen at workplace like other employee to employee, co-workers, vendors, or maybe a customer. This kind of act needs to be aware by everyone in organization to create a friendly environment in a workplace. Second question was from chapter 4 about workers, jobs, and job analysis, such as how can diverse workers contribute to business? Answer is, employees with diverse backgrounds have their own perspective, ideas, and experiences that will help organizations to create the more resilient and effective organizations, and which outperform organizations that do not invest in diversity. Third question was from chapter 4 about human resource planning and retention, such as what is the relationship between organizational commitment and job satisfaction? Mention and explain the factors affecting job satisfaction and organizational commitment. My answer is job satisfaction helps to increase loyalty and engagement of the employee to the organization. This will lead employee to organizational commitment. Job satisfaction can make employees comfortable with work. Retain the employee so that this creates a commitment between workers and the organization. There is some factor affecting job satisfaction and organizational commitment. First, start with the individual itself by ability, motivation, and support. After that, from the job itself, that is job design and job element in an organization, both of these factors will affect job satisfaction. job dissatisfaction, and organizational commitment. The result will be between retention of the employee or turnover. I also have done the video recording of the answer to the questions for discussion. The total of the video recording is 6 videos. The topics are about human resource management in an organization, strategic planning, equal employment opportunity, worker jobs and job analysis, human resource planning and retention, and the last is recruiting and labor markets. My first impression of joining the HRM lecture online is I feel this class is very interesting. We can discuss together and share our opinion. Also, we could know each other's condition because we have to give greetings before class started every week. The internet has been used by people globally in many activities, including recruiting process, recruiting using special technology means such as blogs, e-videos, and Twitters. First is blogs. Blogs have been used by employers and individuals as the part of recruiting to fill jobs. For instance, describing job openings and recruiting needs on the Best Buy blog has resulted in individuals responding to job areas such as finance, marketing, HR, and other specialties. Numerous other employers have used blogs to generate recruiting results as well. The second is e-video. E-video have been used by employers in several ways. Some firms use videos to describe their company characteristics, job opportunities, and recruiting means. Some of the e-videos contain employment games for both current and potential employees that focus on creating positive employment image. People who are interested in working for the company can then follow up by using online job application documentation and information. The third is Twitter. Twitter can be used for many different purposes, including personal, social, legal, and employment-related messages. The Twitter system limits messages to 140 specific characters, but even so, tweeting has rapidly become a social network recruiting method. Recruiters send tweet messages to both active and passive job candidates, and then follow up with longer emails to computers, personal contacts, and other actions to facilitate recruiting. Besides that, internet recruiting also has some advantages and disadvantages. The advantages are, first, employers have saved money using internet recruiting versus other recruiting methods such as newspaper advertising, employment agencies, and search firms, all of which can cost substantially more. Second is a very large pool of applicants can be generated using internet recruiting. Individuals may view an employer more positively and obtain more useful information, which can result in more individual applications. Besides that, internet recruiting also gives benefits to company because jobs literally are posted globally, so potential applicants in other geographic areas can view the job openings posted on the internet. Moreover, it also improves the ability to target specific audiences. The third is internet recruiting can save time because applicants can respond quickly to job postings by sending electronic responses. Recruiters can respond more rapidly to qualified candidates in order to obtain more necessary applicant information, request additional candidate details, and establish time for further communication including interviews. The fourth is good internet resources also can help recruiters reach passive job seekers. These individuals often do not list themselves on job boards, but they might visit a company website for other reasons and check out the careers or employment sections. Meanwhile, the disadvantages of internet recruiting are, first, internet recruiting often creates additional work for HR staff members and others internally. More online job postings must be sent, more resumes must be reviewed, more emails, blogs, and Twitters need to be dealt with, and expensive specialist software may be needed to track the increased number of applicants. Second is some applicants may have limited internet access, especially individuals from lower socioeconomic groups and from certain racial or ethnic groups. And the third is many individuals who access internet recruiting sources or browsers who may submit resume just to see what happens, but they are not actively looking for new jobs. External recruiting sources such as, first, media sources such as newspaper, television, radio, and billboards. Internet usage has led to media sources being available online, including postings, ads, videos, webinars, and many others expanding media services. And the second, competitive recruiting sources such as other sources for recruiting include professional and trade associations, trade publications, and competitors. Such sources may be useful for recruiting the specialized professionals needed in an industry. The third is employment agencies, both public and private, are a recruiting source. Most agencies have websites that potential applicants can use without having to go to the office. For a fee collected from either the employee or the employer, these agencies do some preliminary screening and put employers in touch with applicants. Fourth is labor unions, which may be a useful source of certain types of workers. A labor pool is generally available through a union, and workers can be dispatched from the hiring hall to particular jobs to meet the needs of employers. In some instances, labor unions can control or influence recruiting and staffing activity. Unions can benefit employers through apprentices and cooperative staffing programs. And the fifth is job fairs and creative recruiting. Job fairs have been held by economic development entities, employer and HR associations, and other community groups to help bring employers and potential job candidates together. Creative recruiting methods sometimes can be used to generate a pool of qualified applicants so that jobs can be filled in a timely manner. 6 is educational institutions and recruiting. College and university students are a significant source of entry-level professional and technical employees. However, it can be expensive and requires significant time and effort. Employers need to determine whether both current and future jobs require persons with college degrees in specific fields. The advantages of external recruiting: first, new sources bring new perspectives. Second, training new hires may be cheaper and faster because of prior external experience. Third, new hires are likely to have fewer internal political supporters in the firm. Fourth, new hires may bring new industry insight and expertise. The disadvantages of external recruiting: first is the firm may not select someone who will fit well with the job and on the organization. Second, the process may cause moral problems for internal candidates not selected. Third, new employees may require longer adjustment periods as well as orientation efforts. Sexual harassment is an unwelcome sexual behavior that's offensive, humiliating, or intimidating. It can be written, verbal, or physical and can happen in person or online. Sexual harassment can include someone touching, grabbing, or making other physical contact with a person without his or her consent, leering and staring at a person, making sexual gestures or suggestive body movements toward a person, insulting with sexual comments, indecently exposing themselves, and sexually assaulting a person. Sexual harassment can affect the performance in a company because it can hurt the health and well-being of workers, make workers less productive, and can increase employee absenteeism and turnover. Sexual harassment can happen at workplace because of some underlying causes such as male hostility toward women in the workplace is closely connected to male attitude about the proper role of a man in society and to express their resentment and try to reassert control when they view women as their economic competitors. Sexual harassment can happen in two ways, such as first, give unwelcome sexually suggestive or demeaning comments, repeated and unwelcome requests for dates, offensive gestures, offensive touching, jokes or pranks, intimidating behaviors, or pornographic materials. Second, employers provide less favorable conditions of employment because of the different gender status. This can include discriminatory hiring procedures, hours, wages, promotions, work schedules, work assignments, vacation or sick leave benefits, job evaluation, discipline, and termination. Human resource planning is the process of analyzing and identifying the need for and availability of human resources so that the organization can meet its objective. How I plan human resource in my company: first of all, I will determine how many people are needed to work in each division. Then, I will prepare an inventory of our current employees, include their educational level and abilities. I will also look closely at our job components and analyze each job so that I can get a better picture of what kinds of skills are needed to perform a job successfully. Retaining best people in the company is quite important in order to achieve company's goals. Therefore, some efforts need to be made to retain them. Those are, first, do onboarding process such as teach new employees not only about the job but also about the company, culture, and how they can contribute to and thrive in it. Second, pairing a new employee with a mentor can be added as the extended onboarding process, especially in a remote work environment. Third, it's essential for companies to pay their employees competitive compensation, which means employers need to evaluate and adjust salaries regularly. Fourth, flexible schedule and remote work options can make workplace stand out to potential new hires and re-engage current staff, all while boosting employee morale. 5. Keeping employees fit mentally, physically, and financially. 6. Make sure to help promote timely, constructive, and positive communication across the entire team. 7. Talk to employees about their short and long-term professional goals and help them to visualize their future with the company. 8. Help employees identify areas for professional growth, such as the need to learn new skills. 9. Thank the people who go to extra mile and explain how their hard work helps the organization. And 10. A healthy work-life balance is essential to job satisfaction. Encourage employees to set boundaries and take their vacation time. Psychological contract is the unwritten expectations employees and employers have about the nature of their work relationships. A psychological contract shall recognize some components such as employers provide competitive compensation and benefits, flexibility to balance work and home life, and career development opportunities, while employees contribute continuous improvement and increased productivity, reasonable time with the organization, and extra effort and results when needed. HR planning process begins with considering the organizational strategic planning objective. Then, the possible available workforce must be evaluated by identifying both the external and internal workforce. Once those assessments are complete, forecasts must be developed to identify both the demand for supply of human resources. Management then formulates HR staffing plans and actions to address imbalances, both short-term and long-term. The purpose of developing and measuring HR planning is to increase the validity and reliability of the HR planning results. Specific strategies may be developed to fill vacancies or deal with surplus employee. Then, HR plans are developed to provide specific direction for the management of HR activities related to employee recruiting, selection, and retention. Next, there are 4 videos that I have watched. The videos are talking about recruitment methods, recruitment process, and sexual harassment in the workplace. The speakers has explained there are 3 recruitment methods. First is IQ test or general mental abilities, aka GMA. IQ test is the most well-validated concept in social science. IQ test indicated 2 things when it comes to work. First, it predicts how quickly a candidate can learn a job. Second, IQ predicts how successful a candidate will be in their job. Second, unstructured employment interviews. This method leads to hiring decisions based on gut instinct. Rather than a fair and equal comparison, it's more likely that certain candidates can be favored based on the bias of the interviewer. Third, structured employment interview. This method means that applicants are assessed and scored based on the same questions. They are considered significantly more valid in terms of predicting future success. And then the second speaker talk about recruitment process. There are 4 steps in recruiting process. First is defining the role. Think carefully about what the role is, the actual requirements of the job, and how it fits in the business and your future plans. Write job description to help clarify the purpose, task, and responsibilities of the job. Second, build a profile of the ideal person to fill this role. A person's specification will help undertake the selection and interview process in a systematic way. Third, attracting applicants. Start to search for suitable candidates. Think about where to advertise to attract a wide range of good quality applicants. Keep the advert short and to the point, and make sure it's not discriminatory and avoid gender or culturally specific language. And the last step is selecting the right candidates. Draw up the selection criteria. Create a checklist based on the essential or desirable skills and experience required. Use the checklist to assess how closely candidates match up to the job and person specification. And the next is talk about sexual harassment. Sexual harassment in the workplace is and the next is talk about sexual harassment in the workplace. Sexual harassment is unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, or other verbal or physical conduct of sexual nature. Sexual harassment is illegal because it's violating the law and definitely affects everyone. Sexual harassment negatively impacts the workplace by undermining the integrity of the employment relationship, harming employee morale, and interfering with productivity. How to eliminating sexual harassment in the workplace? There are 4 First is communicate to employees that all forms of harassment will not be tolerated. Second is provide sexual harassment training. And the third is establish an effective complaint process. And the fourth is take immediate and appropriate action when an employee complains of sexual harassment. Companies should establishing procedures for reporting sexual harassment, which make it easy for employees to report if there are sexual harassment happen to them. Finally, what I got from watching those 4 videos. So what I got is how it's are important to do recruitment carefully because it will determine the present and future of the company's life, and also it's important to prevent any sexual harassment in the workplace because it will negatively impact everyone, includes company. Therefore, it can be concluded that one of the purpose of doing recruitment process carefully is to prevent any sexual harassment or discrimination to happen in the workplace. Finally, this is the end of my midterm videos of Human Resource Management. Thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.